Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Dogbot333, and welcome back to our Divine Fort Kaiserredux as our rightful inheritors of America, the Pacific States of America. In the last video, Huey Long was elected to the presidency, but unfortunately, MacArthur overthrew the government, so we're going to have to deal with all that. So, I'm going to organize a lot of stuff real quick. And then we'll take it from there. We'll go ahead and get George Marshall in charge of our generals, and then as our field marshal, and then from here, don't want an infantry guys, so we'll go ahead and get Albert Cody Wedemeyer. Why not? We got a couple options for what we want to do. We have quite a large focus tree, which is impressive, I gotta say. I do dig it. But we can only focus on so much right now, so right now let's work on doing the Pacific Defense Command. Since we claim to be the real American, our army is officially the United States Army. The command hierarchy remains unclear on many levels. As such, we'll push for the creation of the Western Defense Command, an apparent detachment of the army which will work independently and will reunite with the army in structure once the Civil War is won. From there, work on a civilian factory in Reno. I'm okay with that. We can go with that for now. Let me check supply after this. We do not have very good supply over here, though. So, real quick, I will get working on a railroad all the way over here to Spokane. Spokane, I'm not sure. Olympia to Spokane. However you say it. Yeah. And so, let's see. We could recruit some militias. We'll raise some militia as well. And then I don't know what you guys are doing. So we need you guys on the front line. Stand up in America. Ever since the first peaceful transfer of power between George Washington and John Adams, the government of the United States has prided itself on respecting the wishes of the population after an election. This unspoken contract between the people and their government has been violently violated by General Douglas MacArthur. In opposing the Democratic elected president in the name of preserving stability, he has shattered the founding principles of our great nation. The destruction of the healthy civil-military relationship that has marked America since independence is a grievous slight to all the values we hold as a nation. In response, the governors of Washington, California, and Oregon have issued a joint declaration condemning the general's actions and demanding his immediate withdrawal from Washington. We doubt he will respond positively, but like the Patriots in 1776, we must take a stand against tyranny and oppression for the Republic. Uh-oh. As the once righteous US of A splinters and collapses as it verges ever closer to total civil war, many within our isolated oasis of Republican ideals here on the Pacific coast have begun to voice their concerns. They have a growing desire to avoid war with their fellow Americans, fearing the chaos, bloodshed, and savagery of a brother war here on the continent. These peacemongers have grown increasingly vocal in their aversion to a seemingly inevitable war that's growing on the horizon. Normally such development will not even grab the state's attention, but recently these anti-war sentiments have begun to seep into our own officers' corps, including the minds of some of our military staff and leaders with cowardice and hesitation. We likely do not have to act on this for some aversion to war, especially civil war, is normal for a nation that was once as close-knit as our dying union. And for some more hawkish or paranoid cabinet members have called our regime to crush these calls for peace before they get out of hand. How should we proceed? Well, it's only natural for men to shy away from war on its eve. I think that's fair. I'm not sure how it's going to go down, but For our decision to allow these pacifists and cowards to continue their protests and fear-mongering, the idea of secessionism has begun to grow within the minds of general populace. Warring still, these sentiments have begun to reach and influence the big business sector of the Pacific economy. Certain conglomerates with more holdings in our state, from Standard Oil and the Ford Motor Company to more local operations like the California Railroad Commission, have begun to display and proliferate these dangerous ideals as well. The companies, though many would be able to find at least some profit in the coming war, would stand to lose far more in their home markets, customer base, and infrastructure, and are devastated in this horrific conflict. As if all of this is not worrying enough, there have been reports of General Henry Arnold being seen communicating with known associates of these peacemongers. Though what about, we are still ignorant to. Many within our cabinet are now crying for us to do something about the rising tide of Pacific pacifist ideals, though doing so would be a violation of our very founding principle. If we're going to be the heirs of American republicanism, we must abide by its rights. Its rules and rights, too. I'll save right here, because I don't know what's really going to happen here. If we keep this up. It's our nation's principle to let businesses and leaders hold their own beliefs. Chief of Staff, let's do... Henry Arnold. Despite the warning and writing on the walls, our regime was blinded by the specter of looming war. It was not for it we have paid the ultimate price. Like wildfire, the dangerous notion of peace has begun to infest much of our nation as our people recoil from the idea of spilling innocent American blood on our own hallowed soil. As we speak, General Henry Arnold's forces have moved into the capital, surrounding and disarming the National Guard outside of the Capitol building without even firing a shot. With this bloodless coup ordained by the people, General Arnold will assume the role as temporary leader of the Pacific States, while his searches for a candidate to fill the position of interim president, while also reaching out of Governor Washington MacArthur, hash out a peace deal mutually assured assistance and recognition as our people here build a unique and finally independent Pacifician identity. Does this mean peace will finally prevail? Oh! Okay. So that's what happens there. Okay, I did not want to do that, so I'm going to reload the save. Now that I am aware. That's what happens. Yeah, I'm going for another path. I was eyeballing it a little earlier. I don't know if you were able to notice it. You might be able to figure it out, potentially. Yeah, these traitors companies will comply or face repercussions. Henry Arnold. Frank Merriman, coordination with the governors of Oregon and Washington, issued a stunning public statement today. In it, he claimed that if so-called protectors of American values cannot even respect the basic rights outlined in our Constitution, Frank Douglas MacArthur, it will be up to the people of the Pacific to defend America's inalienable rights. Claiming that MacArthur's overthrow of the government was illegitimate, a new nation would be held to select a new president, albeit amongst a limited slate of candidates in the Pacific region. Still, according to Merriam, whoever won this election would have more legitimacy than MacArthur, and would be tasked with overseeing the return of the Asian democracy, by force if need be. We must preserve our Constitution. That's better. That's what I was going for. Now, I might do the other one another time, potentially. Does seem potentially fun. Uh-oh. Following Bill Haywood's own declaration of MacArthur's illegitimacy, many hope the capitalists and syndicalists come together and preserve American democracy. Those naive aspirations were dashed when Governor Merriam ordered the National Guard to violently suppress the syndicalist protests which broke out in Sacramento. This escalated into widespread rioting across many western cities, with Seattle in particular descending into violence. Longshoremen and Teamsters broke into Seattle City Hall, proclaimed the city loyal to Haywood. It's Workers' Republic in Chicago. Currently, the city is in a tense standoff between National Guard units and the rebels holed up in the City Hall. Crush these traitors. Chief of Army. Division attack. I think we'll do Frank Dow Merrill. Some guys in SoCal. Oh no. Sad day has fallen for Americans as Commissioner of Baseball, Kennesaw Mountain Landis, has announced an end to all league baseball, effective immediately. This move comes as no surprise as the governor's standoff has been made traveling between cities nearly impossible, and as such, teams just been playing within the states under control of friendly governors. Standoff seems to have no peaceful solution, even the stopgap effort is halted. The 37 World Series has been effectively canceled as well. The one last thing that brought all Americans together is no more. National pastime can't exist without a nation. Damn. Well, here we go. Okay, we got the militiamen. I'm sorry. Get these guys assigned. Chief of the Air Force. Let's do... We'll go Howard Hughes. Funny Mr. Hughes. Tensions between the Pacific states and Washington have remained high over the last few weeks, but today in the lead-up to the new election, they erupted into open conflict. While some of the ships in Naval Base San Diego were transferred to the East Coast after the first sign of unrest, many remained, along with sailors from cross countries. Details are sketchy, but it appears the base commander, on orders from Washington, ordered sailors to take weapons from the base armory and head into the city. Deploying themselves at polling places, they prevented poll workers from setting up. When morning came, large mobs surrounded these soldiers and began pelting them with bottles, rocks, and other debris. When the soldiers hit by a bottle, fired back, and soon the city descended to chaos. California National Guard units were deployed, and pitched street battles between sailors loyal to MacArthur and the guardsmen erupted, turning the tranquil city into a war zone. Down with the traitors. Stop doing all the exercises. There we are. On the account of the influx of politicians and refugees from the rest of the country to legitimize its claim as the leader of American democracy, the Pacific Congress has formally passed legislation declaring a new election to settle the issue of who will control Congress over the years we still control. With Congress currently deadlocked between the newly splintered parties, determining a dominant faction will be necessary to govern efficiency, as Congress can agree on the little things other than continuing fighting. I can get behind that. The Chief of Navy will do... I don't know if it matters too much. We'll do Lockwood. And here it goes. For years, America has been in chaos, but now was the final straw. America has erupted into a crisis that is not to soon be recovered. Civil war has broken out, the second one in American history. America burns as AUS under Huey Long, Bill Haywood's newly established Combined Syndicates of America, William Murray's Constitutional American Republic, remnants of federal government, and last bastions of democracy in the PSA go head-to-head for something. America will never be destroyed from the outside. If we falter and lose our freedoms, it will be because we destroyed ourselves. Abe Lincoln. The giant is asleep. For good. Well, the good thing is that we're backed up against the coast. The CAR... Actually, never mind. The CAR has declared war on us. Let's go ahead. Get ready to start pushing forward. We'll go ahead and put these guys on the border here in Mexico. Because Mexico is starting to LARP as an empire again, and so that scares me a little bit. We'll recruit some more militiamen in Washington. That'll be our best bet. Got free military factories. We got a lot of military factories. Wow. What do we need? Close air support, attack bombers. Actually, I'll build these instead of that. Let's get support equipment going. I think that works. And then for now, we'll go working on some convoys. And we'll work on some submarines as well. We're going to need resources. A good amount of resources, actually. What do we want to trade with? We'll trade with Transamore. The New England region has been beset by syndicalist militia violence to the point that governors in the region, worried at the prospect of being overrun by the CSA and unwilling to wait for the federal government to restore order, have requested the Kingdom of Canada intervene with its forces to restore order. The Canadian government has sent us notification of their intent, stress that they will only wish to safeguard the lives of innocents. They will discuss the matter further with the American government once peace has been restored. While some in the Pacific Cabinet feel that Canadians have violated their sovereignty, there's little we can do about it at this moment. Yeah, we'll deal with it later. I'll add you to Mr. Marshall's command. Give you Mr. Patch to command you. And we'll go ahead and give you infantry leader. And let's start pushing. Yeah, there we go. And let's scroll over here. The Marshall Plan, funny. I like the reference. Spear firepower versus... I think we'll do Marshall Arnold, the Marshall Arnold plan. Brigadier General George Catlin Marshall has come to us with a damning prediction. If the West Coast fails to cross the Rockies and secure a foothold in the Midwest, then defeat will be inevitable. In his view, a quick advance with the Rockies, with help of motorized elements, will see us through the Civil War. With his daring plan, America will be free once again. Let's do it. Yeah. Collins holds on. Real quick, I gotta check and see how... I'll see... Oh, Mexico actually wants to send us volunteers. I will take that. Well, shit. The Asian cities is giving us overseas rights. Right. Territory of Alaska has experienced a severe shortage of needed supplies following the outbreak of the Civil War. After recent bombing in the city of Juneau, the Alaskan government feared a breakdown of order, one that the far-off federal government will be too busy to respond to, and thus made a formal request to the Kingdom of Canada that they intervene. Canadian troops and supply trucks have already moved into the region. I'll deal with this later. Alright, cool. In something resembling the proud effort of the colonists during the American Revolution, a new Declaration of Independence has been declared by New England. Protected by Canada, beholding to the Entente, the new independent New England state seeks to carve out its own path as last bastion of uncompromised Americanism. Or so they claim. Whatever this small but determined breakaway state plans to do, as they now find themselves in debt to the Entente, is not known, but the world shall watch in anticipation of the northern half of the original 13 colonies tries their luck once again at blazing their own pathway for their own best interest. As if it was 1776 all over again. Japan wants to send volunteers as well. I will take that. Beautiful. These guys are still vaguely democratic, so I'll take it. We're moving in. We've taken all the VPs in Idaho already, so I'm curious if that'll help us. Actually, we'll try to get you to move over there. It's desert, so that's not going to help us too much movement-wise, but beautiful, beautiful. No, what the fuck are you doing? That's okay, you can keep moving a little bit there. I'm okay with that. We gotta move to take out the Western Command Center. We got Idaho secured already. Soon we'll take Vegas and the rest of Nevada. We'll see if we're gonna swoop into Helena and take Western Montana. After a while. I'll send you guys down to the south, to the border just in case. And I think I will go ahead and leave it there for now, my friends. I thank you for watching. Like this video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't. Leave any comments or feedback down in the comments section below. I read all the comments I get. I appreciate any old feedback you might have for me. Hit the sub button if you want to keep up to date with uploads. I have uploads going up weekdays as well as occasionally Saturdays. Check out my various links down in the description box below. And that's really it for now, my friends. I thank you for watching. My name has been Mr. Dogbot333. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye now.